And so much for the bike idea, because Super Ugly Chick already wanted to sell it for $60. Jim Riley, Joe Zillick, Barry Rice, Bernard LaChance, DJ Dave, Berlita Quinwan, Elton Henderson, Don Wiley, Jim Hall, Bill DeVol, 1961 Oyster Cracker Man, the Dilla Man, Fitted Bathroom, Blue Boy Boxes, GPS Puzzle, Robo Rapist Knight, Red Randy, Red Gordon, and Ellery's in your team. See, Bernard in your team didn't work. And that's what happens when you con and scam the Super Ugly Chicks and their friends too many times. And you mess up their faces and their bodies. You guys think it was funny and cool, but they figured it out. See, and Oyster Cracker Man and the Bike Man and hiding everything, like, see, they figured it out. And so I have to protect Super Ugly Chicks first. So I have to protect Bailey, Kimberly, my cousins, all those I could, many as I could. So, bike idea goes back to Pickett Street, Jamaica Street, dipstick. And see, your method, Joe, Taco Joe, Harry, Bernard, not the great one, until a man. And how you handle things 3 or 4 times consecutively in a row, because they finally got their super abusives. And keep people hostage and captive. Because you guys didn't win the Magic Kingdom. So like I said, Ayla and Miranda Booth, they figured it out. They figured it out very quickly. She always does. And then she helped her other friends. So word travels quickly amongst the Super Ugly Chick Nation. You have to be nice to them dudes, and you can't mutilate their faces and hurt them. And they already understand the bike scam. They figured it out. So she tried to sell it, and it did not work. So the bike I found, you guys should probably let me keep it, but you have to have that too. So, I still walk, and it still worked. So if you guys would have just left it alone until the man in your team there, Elton and Don, and your assertion about supposedly running the area with Perlita, if you guys didn't deal it with the Negroes and stuff and sneak around and do weird stuff, then it would probably still work. But you guys trusted in your supposed all-American leader and country and Western Karen and the ghetto life Perlita and the Carney Bernard, and they didn't come when he come running up with his screwing up Brian's and other people's stuff. He didn't know what he was doing. So you can have your con, scam, and grift, Bernard, but that's not what it was meant for, and you know it. And that's what you get for screwing over my Auntie Wendy, screwing me and Heather over, my kindergarten teacher over, following a made-up story so you can have your ghetto life with the Negroes, Bernard, because that's all it is they're lying to. You guys are just taking advantage of the situation. That's what you get, Bridges, for screwing over me and Sasha, the DJ, and Sasha Imes. Any of the girls I know, Karen. Understand? Your racism for country and Western and forcing that shit in for something that was never Joe's or Dave's in the first place is what consecutively screws it up. And all it does with the group of the men is grift an area and then move overseas or down south or in Canada to set up their little playland and pretend to rule over everyone. And I don't give a shit, Joe, because your method is what destroyed our home in the first place and half of these people's lives. If you would have just let the child alone, Harry, instead of coming up with some bullshit story for the justification of putting your penis where it didn't belong, then we wouldn't have this problem. You shouldn't have bit people down in red, whispering faggot to Fairmount. I'm not interested in your torture chip, or listening to you breathe, or hearing you speak, Bernard, and who's American, who isn't. You're the ones who stole the shit. And that's what you have to live with. So, Jim Riley, Joe Zilligan, Dilla Man, so on and so forth, Joe, Taco Joe, you earned your reputation for what you did to other people's children. If you didn't believe, and you guys ripped it all apart and trashed Bailey stuff or Kim stuff, Joe, and you want to use the surveyor excuse to blame everybody else, fine, but you're an idiot too.